Today we are talking about when you should turn your side hustle into your full-time job. Maybe you have a business idea or have been doing your side hustle for a while now and you're wondering, hey, when do I make that jump? Most anything that I've learned from doing it the wrong way first. In my early 20s, I left my job to start a business without a business.
What?
I put in my 2 weeks notice at work and I left my job and I did not have one sale. The business was not in place. It did not go well, and eventually I got another full-time job. In hindsight, that sounds like a terrible idea, but at the same time, I hear and see other people doing similar things all the time. I'm a huge fan of side hustles and owning your own business. I think it's one of the fastest ways to financial independence and wealth. In a full-time job, for the most part, unless you're commissioned, your time is linked to how much money you can earn. So you're limited on how much time you have, so you're limited on how much money you can earn. But when you own your own business, and especially if it's the right kind of business that's scalable, you can make a lot more money and it's not directly linked to your time. In my late 20s, I went to my wife and I was like, I really think that I will regret it if I'm older and I haven't gotten to try this whole entrepreneurship thing again. So could I have the nights after dinner to work on discovering something? I didn't even really know what it was at that point. I was just like, to figure it out. And she was gracious and she let me do that. Eventually, I realized I wanted to start a creative agency to do social media for local businesses. Based on my experience the first time, I thought I better listen to some other people and get some other input. I went to a business owner friend that I had, and so I was like, hey, I feel like local businesses need this. I feel like I can provide it. You know, do you think as a business owner that people would be interested in this? And he was like, yes, and I want you to do it for me. From there, I kept working my full-time job while I maintained that and grew and built my business. So here are the 2 milestones that I wanted to meet before I left my full-time job for this new business that I was building. One, I wanted enough revenue coming in to cover both my personal and business expenses. It didn't necessarily have to be my full income, but I did wanted to be able to pay my bills at home, and I wanted to be able to pay my bills at work and have enough revenue coming in consistently to be able to do that. And then number 2, I wanted to save 1 year's worth of income, which I would recommend saving at least 1 year's of expenses. When I was getting close to being able to quit, I sat down with somebody else who was in the business world and I told them the situation that I was at. And at that point, I had 6 months worth of income saved up. I'd been taking all of the money that I was making from the side business and just putting it in a separate account and keeping it there, which I thought was incredible. And I thought was like, well, of course, this guy is gonna tell me like, hey, yeah, you can quit your job today, it's safe. And he was like, hey, 6 months is great, but before you leave your full-time job, I'd really recommend having 1 year. And that was fantastic advice. There's bumps in the road when you own a business, and having that buffer there, especially when I was new and starting, gave me so much peace of mind. It gave my wife so much peace of mind. It made me be able to say no to opportunities that weren't right and wait for the opportunities that were right. I know it's hard. I know you want to do it. Let that be your motivation to drum up more work, to raise your prices, to get more profitable faster, and don't make that jump until you have met those 2 milestones. Thanks for listening, checking this out, and I will see you next time here on the channel.